This is the Pain Train Preston Quinn, one half of the Extreme Horsemen. And when I want to hear music and entertainment, I come right here. You're listening to On the Fly with Stevie and Warden.
You are listening to On the Fly.
What's up, guys? Yeah, what's up, guys? Inside joke there. Which is a lot of that with me and Kyle.
Inside.
He said inside. So now that we're off track here, but anyway, we'll get back on track. What's up, guys? On the Fly's back again tonight. We told you we were cranking out some more episodes. We're gonna get this party started again.
Do you have a theme song when you open this up, or do you have a theme song? What is it?
I don't know. It's not anything you can sing.
I can sing it. Do you got a beat? Can you play it? It's got a beat. I
don't have a beat. Get it. I'm not Janet Jackson. Give me a beat.
You can't play the music you use for your open real fast?
I mean, I don't have it up here on it right.
Well, I was going to sing words for it. I was going to come up with words for it on the fly, if you will. And I was just going to come up, with what.
Hold on. You want to hear? I don't. They ain't gonna be able to hear you because it's gonna mute it. I ain't gonna be able to hear you
I'll unmute myself and just sing with it. Go ahead, play.
You can't unmute yourself when this plays, though.
Yeah, I think you can. Let's see. We'll stop it if we can.
Oh my God! Here we go. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. It's on the fly. I'm on the fly. Yeah, we're on the fly with Stevie Fly. He's a great guy, and we're
you are listening to On the Fly.
You're listening to On the Fly. Unzip your fly and pull out your. I'm not gonna say it because Stevie doesn't want me to. It's on the fly.
Okay, well, there's one way to look at it.
There you go. I told you, all you had to do was unmute yourself.
Wow. Anyway, tonight, and excuse my voice, I'm a little under weather. Freaking cold has got me the last couple of days. We are going to talk about tomorrow. We're recording this on Thursday, October 30th. Tomorrow
Devil's Night.
Yep. Tomorrow will be Halloween. So me and Kyle have a lot of things in common, and one of those things is
that we both have. Oh,
we love professional wrestling, and we love the old days. When was the last time you watched Monday Night Raw, Kyle? A full episode.
Yeah, I don't know about a full episode. The last time I remember watching pretty close to a full episode was their Netflix debut. It's hard to believe that was this year. Back in January, Hogan was still alive, came out, got booed. Kind of sad when you look back on it. Well, what transpired after that? But
yeah,
I don't watch a lot of Raw. I was watching the PLEs when they were on Peacock. But now that they're on the new ESPN app, ESPN, you still have the ESPN Plus app, but then they have the new app that, if you're going to drop cable, or if your cable company provides it, it's good. But I'm not paying $40 for it as it is now. So the point of this ramble was I was still watching the pay-per-views or premium live events, the whole things on a regular basis up until the change in distribution. But as far as Raw, it's not a while. I haven't watched any. The last live wrestling I watched was SummerSlam. I haven't watched anything live. No Raw, no SmackDown, no AEW, no NXT. And the last two PLEs I've missed, I haven't watched anything live at SummerSlam.
That's about right for me too, because I don't want to. And the greed, WWE. Me and you have talked about this several times, and you make good points about WWE is pricing families right out of this. They want to make it so bring your family, but what kind of daggum family can go to these things? Go
The
to
Rockefellers.
go to a live event nowadays with WWE. And you talked about if Tony Khan had any sense, he'd be trying to take advantage of this situation.
Well, Tony Khan right now with WWE torn less nationally and torn more internationally, and ticket prices being so outrageous, if he put out a good product, now would be the time to grab the fans. Hey, we still care about the fans. We still do things the old school way. We're a family-run business. The Khan family owns the business. We pay our wrestlers, and we care about. And the truth be told, all that's true. They do pay their wrestlers well. It is a family-run business, and he does care about the fans. The problem is the kind of wrestling he wants to put out is only what he cares about, what he likes, and unfortunately, that's what the majority of people don't like. And we're going to get into Halloween Havoc. That's what the show's about tonight. We're going to talk about Stevie's top 5 favorite Halloween Havoc matches, and I hadn't seen some of them in years, or haven't seen them at all. And went back and watched them today to see what I think is top 5. But we're talking about the current product right now, and I lost my train of thought there, Stevie. I was going.
I don't know where you're going with it, but you were going somewhere.
I rounded a curve and decided I was going to explain what the show's going to be about tonight, and circle back around to it, and completely lost where I was going. But the point of it is,
we were talking about what AEW could do to take advantage.
Yeah, well, what they could do is actually just put out good quality matches and storylines people care about, because the prices are reasonable. And Tony Khan, despite being a lunatic, he does care about the fans and the wrestlers. Um, the the problem with what's going on right now with AEW and WWE. I know where I was going with this, Stevie. I finally got it. I got it. The ratings are down horribly. With the new rating system, and they did away with Nielsen ratings, they have a more so-called accurate way to measure who's watching wrestling. WWE and AEW are both suffering big time in terms of how many eyeballs are actually watching it, in terms of this new way of counting viewers. And AEW's to the point, depending on what they're bringing in on Max, where if I'm them, I'm worried. I don't know if they have a clause in their contract with Warner saying you have to keep X number of viewers for consecutive weeks, or we can opt out of this thing. If they don't, I'm still worried, because when it comes time for renewal, who the hell's going to take them? They're not going to want them for near what they're paying for it if the viewers keep going down. I mean, you're talking about for Dynamite, 1 week since this new rating system, they had like 400,000 viewers on a Wednesday night, and that's not going to get it done. And so anyway, the point of this was we both miss the old days of wrestling. You lean more 80s, I lean more 90s, though I do certainly love the 80s, and you love the 90s. But the point of this nonstop rambling that I'm doing is I'm doing my best impersonation of a friend of ours, apparently, is that the current product sucks and the old product's better, and we're going to talk about the old product.
Yep. So Halloween Havoc, which started in 1989, WCW had it in 1980. Of course, NXT just did their version of Halloween Havoc. I think it was this week, this past weekend. But we're talking WCW version. This was one of the, let's see, you had Starrcade, Super Brawl,
Great American Bash, Halloween Havoc. Those were
Great American Bash. One of the big 4 for WCW.
And then Fall Brawl ended up being a big one, even though it was, kind of not very long before Halloween Havoc. You had Fall Brawl in September, Halloween Havoc in October. I remember Fall Brawl becoming a more important event. But yeah, I always looked at the big 4 for WCW as Super Brawl, Great American Bash, Starrcade, Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, and that as time went on, of course, you have more pay-per-views than 4. Of course, you have one every month. So there was names.
Yeah, but you still had a pecking order to me.
Oh yeah. You had the big ones, the ones that just like with WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, so on. This was like what you saw with WCW. Halloween Havoc was actually, I thought it was so cool when it first came out.
I did too. I love the name. I love the concept.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out. This started in '89, but Dusty was gone in '89, so he couldn't have come up with the name. I'm wondering who came up with the name.
Well, he could have. He was gone in '89, but that doesn't mean that that's when that name was come up with. I mean, I'm sure it was planned out, for some time. But that's a good thing to research. Is who
Yeah,
came
I'm
up with the
looking
name
up
Halloween
here and I
Havoc?
can't find anything on it, so we'll have to research that more. But started in '89, went on till the death of WCW to 2000, and now WWE's had it from 2020 till present with NXT.
I don't
And
understand. Like you have a great pay per view like Halloween Havoc and a great name. Why give it to NXT? Why not use that as your October pay per view for WWE?
what is the October pay per view for WWE? What's it called?
They just did it.
You can't think of it.
At Crown Jewel this year.
What kind of? I mean, I'd rather have Halloween Havoc
Exactly. No, me too. Exactly.
in October.
Yeah.
Hey, it doesn't take a Vince McMahon. Never mind. Never mind.
What do you mean, pal?
What do you mean, pal?
What are you trying
Come
to
to my
say?
office.
What are you trying to say? Would
But
you like for me to poop on your head?
you're fired. I can do his voice real
Ah.
good with his cold. You're fired.
Yeah.
So, like Kyle explained earlier, I did my top 5 Halloween Havoc matches, and Kyle decided he was going to watch and see, bring back some memories and see what he thought of my top 5. So,
Correct.
that's exactly what we're going to put. Before we get started, though, we talked a little bit about current stuff, and there's a rumor that actually has some legs to it that Chris Jericho, and matter of fact, Chris Jericho's messing me now. Chris Jericho is going to be leaving AEW and signing with WWE, doing his farewell year with WWE. I think it's coming. I'm pretty sure it's coming. I mean, Jericho has been pretty much non-existent on AEW for a while. So, what's your thoughts on Jericho coming back for one more ride with WWE?
Well, they just did the Cena farewell tour and screwed it all to hell. So to step right into another one, I don't know that I would bill it as a farewell tour. If because you just
Too
did
late
that.
now.
Do what?
Too late now. They already. I mean, that didn't even happen yet. They're already talking about it.
Right, but it's not officially called that. I don't. He certainly needed to get out of AEW. What he was doing in AEW sucked. It had gotten stale, just like everything else in AEW. So I don't know. My thoughts on it. I really don't know. I don't really care about seeing Jericho wrestle anymore. He was overexposed. He was overexposed in AEW. He did too much bad stuff in AEW. I'm sure there's a lot of WWE fans who have not seen him since he left because they don't watch AEW.
Yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of WWE fans will be happy to see him. Will he bring back the list and have a match with Kevin Owens? I know Kevin Owens is out. I guess I don't care, to be honest with you. I just don't care.
Right.
I have no interest. Jericho to me was so bad the end of his AEW run that I'm just sick of Chris Jericho. I really don't want to see another Chris Jericho run. What I would probably like to see is not a full year run, but maybe one last feud leading into a big match from Jericho. But I really don't care about seeing him anytime soon. Does he come back at Royal Rumble? Does he come back when does he come back? To be honest with you, at this point, I don't care. I would give it a little more time. I would, if I'm WWE and I sign him, I probably wait a little bit longer to bring him back.
Well, there's a lot of rumors that saying that, and I'm not saying this would happen or that I would like this to happen, but there's a rumor that he could come back as soon as Saturday at Saturday night's main event.
Is that on Peacock or NBC?
I don't know. I was going to ask you that same question a while ago when we were talking about not watching.
I know they're supposed to be moving to Peacock, but I don't know if that's next year or this year. To create more confusion for people trying to find stuff.
Yeah, so you have to watch SmackDown on one thing, Raw on another channel, and then the pay-per-views on another.
You know, I really thought everything was going to move to Netflix. I really thought once the Peacock deal was up, everything would move to Netflix except for SmackDown. And it's, to me, this is just a pain in the ass. And the archive stuff is still on Peacock.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's.
Why? I mean, why? That's what another.
I don't think you're going to see Jericho come back on Saturday Night's Main Event unless he's going to be seen as final opponent, and they're going to build to that.
Well, I'm like this. If he comes back, he's going to get a big pop coming back. Of course, that initial pop. But
where is Saturday Night's Main Event at?
Don't know.
Okay. We're really.
I haven't paid. I haven't paid. Look, we're here to talk.
Maybe Alexa knows. Should I ask Alexa?
Go ahead and ask your Alexa. Hey, Alexa.
Yeah. Let me look up ChatGPT.
You want me to Google it, or you want to ask Alexa?
And I'm gonna look up it on ChatGPT. Chat
UBT, UBE.
Yeah, UBE for ChatGPT.
Saturday night's main event.
Yep, I'm looking it up. I'm just typing a Saturday Night Main Event this Saturday info. And let's see what ChatGPT, the free version, will give me. Not on the pay version currently. It looks like there is no new episode of Saturday Night Main Event scheduled for this coming Saturday.
Hold on. Wow.
I think that's incorrect. It says the next Saturday Night's Main Event is going to be December 13th.
Well, it says here November 1st.
Okay.
Let's see. How can I watch Saturday Night's Main Event? The bad news is Saturday Night's Main Event makes things even more confusing as it hasn't been moved to ESPN, nor will you find it on Netflix. Main Event as Saturday Night's Main Event is on Peacock.
Utah. And it's okay, Salt Lake City, Utah.
And it's in Utah. Looks like
exclusively on Peacock.
Looks like it's a boring main event.
Yeah.
CM Punk versus Jey Uso. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. Tiffany Stratton versus Jay Cardle.
Okay.
Dominic Mysterio versus Penta versus Rusev for the Intercontinental Championship. That's it.
All right. Hey, that's not bad.
Not great either.
With it being on Peacock now, not NBC, I think Saturday night's main event has officially become In Your House.
Maybe, yeah.
In Your House.
You remember when they first started that was like the cheap pay-per-view.
$15.
Yeah, yeah.
$15 for 2 hours. I used to order every damn one of them because they were $15. I didn't went up to $19.95, but when they first came out for 2 hours, it's $15. I used to order every one of them.
They were good, and they were good cards too.
Yeah, some of them are really good. So I remember the very first one where they gave away a house with some lady and Todd Pettingill.
Oh yeah, Todd Pettingill, and what was that daggum lady's name?
It was Todd Pettingill, and the lady was
she didn't last long.
Megan, I don't know. Seems like her name was Megan, but I don't.
Stop guessing.
I think it was Megan. I remember she had like short brunette hair, didn't she?
Yeah.
And they gave away the house in Florida, and I don't think anybody ever moved in there. I think the people who wanted just sold it. And, it's in your house. You remember the original theme song for it? It's in your house.
Was that a Doc Hendricks song?
I think Michael would have came up with something better than "It's in your house."
Yes.
It's in your
It's
house.
in your house because they know
It's the
we're not
last
coming to
house
you.
on the
You're not
right,
coming to my
baby.
house because you ran the other way when you saw me coming.
Last house on the right. Bad
Further
Street,
down the block,
baby.
showed a better
Anytime.
guy. Jesus. Michael PSAs, purely sexy.
Doot, doot, doot.
Dude. Did you weren't on the episode we did where we went through the Off the Streets album track by track, were you?
No.
We need to get that going again, bring you back on, and we can do an album review of Off the Streets.
Bad Street,
Oh
Atlanta,
gosh,
GA.
it was a great album too, boy.
I actually like Bad Street, USA.
I like
think
it. That, yeah. Well, what I'm saying is that's the highlight, dude. That's the highlight.
I don't know what he's saying at the beginning. I want to
tell you a story.
In case you don't want to hear, it's a new home sweet home. It's a home sweet misery. We knew.
So now in a karaoke version of On the Fly.
So let's see. If we're the Freebirds, Stevie, who's Michael Hayes? Who's Terry Gordy? And who's Buddy Roberts? Or do we have Jimmy Jam Garvin? Who's who?
Well, I don't want to be Buddy Roberts.
You don't want. Well, you kind of fit the build.
I don't want to be him.
Well, I'm gonna be Michael Hayes
because he was the one that got his ass kicked every time.
I'm gonna be because you're good. You good.
I can't be Terry Gordy. Give me Jimmy Garvin.
You're a good trash talker, but I think I'm the better trash talker.
You are, yeah.
Yeah. You to be Jimmy Garvin, you got to go. Yeah.
I don't have the hair for it though.
You can be Terry Gordy.
But I'm a free bird, and what was your excuse? We can do that song too.
Terry Gordy. What's Gordy?
I'm not big enough to be Bam Bam.
Oh, sorry. Well, I could be Gordy and PS, but I'm Michael Hayes. You're Jimmy Jam. So
I'm sorry.
Gordy
Rest in peace, Buddy Roberts. But you just got your ass kicked all the time. You were the ones that sacrificial lamb.
So Matt, from Sports Joe, the Matt Samensa can be Terry Bam Bam Gordy.
Yeah, we can have him.
And then who's going to be
whoever draws the shortest straw gets Buddy Roberts.
So JR don't care about wrestling, so we'll leave him out.
So Dave's going to be Buddy Roberts.
Dave's Buddy Roberts. Yeah, there you go. Buddy Roberts.
Dave, you heard that? You're Buddy Roberts now.
There you go.
You got to talk like this.
Yeah. I'm going to feud with the Von Erichs. Anyway, yeah, let's get to Halloween Havoc.
Halloween Havoc. So it started in 89. And, excuse me. Hold on a second. What have I got here? Wow.
What's wrong?
I just realized. Never mind. We're going to have 6 matches.
You did your top 6?
I gave you the wrong match. I gave you a wrong match, I think. Let me see when
Jesus.
I texted you. If I did, I'll just talk about that other match. Yep, I sure did. I didn't give you the last match I wanted you to see.
All right. So, well, I got 4 of the 6 then.
That's right. So number 6 is from 1991, and I apologize for messing the top 5 up, but we'll go with 6. We'll be different tonight. 1991 and what could have been with WCW. How you don't keep these 2 guys there. They go on to bigger. One of them goes to a whole lot bigger and better things in WWE. And I'm talking about this was a match for the WCW Television Championship. Stunning Steve Austin versus the natural Dustin Rhodes. Who go on to be Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Goldust. Now, there's another thing, too. You didn't see these 2 really, every once in a while, but you didn't really see a big program with Stone Cold and Goldust in WWE. You saw, I think there was a time when Goldust was going through he had turned back heel again after a babyface run, and he was coming out with Luna with it, and he was dressed up like stupid
like a
stuff.
BDSM gimmick, and there was something with an outhouse or a porta potty or something.
Yeah, he came out. He Stone Cold ended up stunning him, and he landed in the outhouse and got locked in there or something like that. Wasn't he dressed like a baby then or something?
I don't know. It seemed like he was doing a BDSM gimmick. I don't remember
He
exactly.
did. Well, I mean, he did different things. But yeah, that match gets up because you got Stunning Steve, which from the start when Steve Austin started in USWA, and of course, I couldn't watch that around here, but reading about him in the magazines and stuff, and then seeing him show up on WCW one day, and I'm like, holy crap, this guy's freaking awesome. I loved Stunning Steve Austin. Got to see him live at the Richmond Coliseum fighting. Who was he fighting? Bobby Eaton, beautiful Bobby. After he beat Bobby for the television title, but this match was back and forth. I mean, it was just an action-packed match. Rhodes gets busted open. JR makes a comment about, Dustin's grandma's come all the way from Texas down here to see this match and saw us a grand.
You got to say it like JR would have in '91.
You got to say it like that. I can't do JR.
And Justin's grandma. Justin.
Yeah.
And Dustin's grandma's here to see him live here. She's come all the way from Dallas to Austin, Texas. Hook 'em horns. That'll be the only time you ever hear me say that.
Yeah, if he said hook 'em horns, he'd get disowned by his alumni.
He did say it.
Oof.
He did say it. You go back and watch that. I got to see highlights of it, and that's one of the things that I remembered him saying. Hook, that'll be the only time you'll hear me say that, Bob. Or I think he was actually calling that with Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, Austin comes out there with his wife at the time, which was Lady Blossom, Jeannie Clark, who used to be married to Chris Adams.
Lady Blossom. I mean, that's just
they could have come up with a better name than that.
This is like Blossom, Lady Blossom.
Like,
were they talking her boobs blossom? Yeah, exactly. Well, that was before that came on the air.
Was it?
Yeah, 91. Yeah, Blossom.
Maybe that's where Blossom got the idea.
I don't think I could be wrong. I don't think Blossom started in 92. Check that. Check when Blossom started.
I'm looking right now.
Don't know about the future. That's anybody's guess. No, something fulfilling all depressed.
Something. 1990. So yeah, that was.
Oh, well, there you go.
Blossom beat him. July 5th, 1990. This is 90.
There you go. 91. Yeah. So that's where they got the name. Maybe she looked
like
Maya.
TV when we'll call her Lady Blossom.
Lady Blossom. Yes.
Was Jim Herd there at the time? That could have been a Jim Herd idea.
Kip Fry, Jim Herd.
Well,
let's call her a Lady Blossom, like that hip girl, Maya Bialik.
With a big nose.
How much does her nose weigh?
Watch, that girl got a big nose over there.
This podcast might not be entertaining to anybody but us.
Us, exactly. And that's all that matters.
Exactly.
But Austin versus Rhodes, like I said, this was, they had a short program, and then they would tangle when the Dangerous Alliance versus Sting Squadron. No coincidence that I want to say in the War Games with Sting Squadron versus the Dangerous Alliance, I want to say Dustin and Austin were the first two in. And I may be wrong, but that was probably about the only time you didn't see Arn Anderson be the first one in a War Games. But they work well together. And I can't believe as successful as they were in WWF or WWE, they would not put these guys in a little program together. But that's just me.
So you had the match of Halloween Havoc with Austin and Dustin. And so you talking about they never really had a program together. Was there not a build to that match?
I mean, they had stuff going back and forth with it, but it wasn't a huge build to it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, like a main event build. I'll put it that way, which probably shouldn't be with the TV title. But yeah, I just really enjoy it, because there's some more matches up here that we'll talk about. that a lot of people probably rank higher than this one. But for me, this was a great match for me. And I mean, 15-minute time limit draw for the TV championship, like an
10
old
minutes have
fashioned,
elapsed. 5 minutes are remaining.
My Gary
like the
Michael.
old fashioned TBS
Yeah,
stuff.
I screwed up my Gary Michael Capetta right there.
Yeah, 5 minutes remaining in the match. But yeah, I just enjoyed this match, and like I said, a sign of the future, and how WCW had so much talent there and just couldn't keep it around like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, I was too busy about too worried about booking people that are 145 years old like Hulk Hogan, but RIP. But I didn't get to watch much of that match. I could not find it on YouTube, and then I didn't take the time to get on Peacock. So I really can't give much of an analysis on this match or tell you where I rank it or I agree with
Right.
you, disagree. I just saw highlights of it. From what I saw, the highlights, it was pretty good. Time limit draw between Austin and Dustin when they're in the early 90s, both young. Austin had been wrestling since 89. Dustin, I think, went pro in 86, 87.
Yeah,
So, they were both young. Both would get better, but both were, very athletic at that time. And I enjoyed watching them both in WCW during that time. So I can't really give much analysis on it, but I'm sure it was a great match. It would have to be.
yeah. I mean, it's hard to screw that match up, and they did. So number 5, and this is from 1995. Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, and Sting versus Brian Pillman and Arn Anderson. This match, the build up to this match was so great, and I mean, this was, I think there was Nitro started then, I believe.
Nitro started in September of 95, so it was a brand new thing.
Yeah,
It's been around
yeah,
there
because you didn't have a full horseman, and matter of fact,
or did Nitro start September 96? Now I'm questioning myself.
got me wondering now too. Hold on,
We should know this. We're well prepared.
yeah, but
Hey, Alexa, what year did Monday Nitro start?
95.
Let's see.
Nitro debuted on September 4th, 1995.
There you go.
See?
Alexa, stop. Yeah, so there you go. Nitro was a new thing, so you had, and that may be why you remember that build so much.
Yes, because it was
That was
all
one of the early, big builds for that pay per view.
yeah.
But really, it will get into this match. But I will go ahead, and then I'll talk about what the best match from Halloween Havoc history is, and it was also on this card. But go ahead.
The thing was, you had what you never thought you'd see in a million years: Arn versus Flair. That feud started, and actually, the way it started.
You remember their match at Fall Brawl in Asheville?
Yes.
Great match.
They were making out at first. It was like Arn was the baby face and Flair was going to be the heel. But something, I don't know what happened. Something changed. Whether they decided.
No, if Fall Brawl in Asheville wasn't Arn the babyface and Flair the heel.
Yeah. Yes.
So that was before that. That was in September.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was making sure it was the same feud. They didn't do it twice.
Oh
okay.
no. Yeah.
Okay.
So and then the whole Pillman thing. Pillman interfered in that match, turned Arn heel and Flair babyface. Flair comes out and is going on this feud against Pillman and Arn, and he needs help. Who does he go to? He goes to Sting. Sting's
1989 all over again.
Sting's like, no. He comes out week after week. Sting says, no, I'm not doing it. I don't trust you. You screwed me. You screwed me before. And finally, I think it's a tag match or something like that. Flair is in a ring by himself, and Sting comes out there late and ends up helping me. He tells Flair, okay, I'll do it this time. But if you screw me, I'll leave you for dead. A sign of things to come there. So this match goes on, and the day you hear the announcement at the pay-per-view, Flair has been jumped and needs medical attention. So his participation in this match is questionable. He might not be here. So Sting's fighting these two guys by himself, and he's getting his tail tore up. And all of a
I
sudden, you
didn't think
see,
they did that well at the beginning. Sting was actually dominating the match,
oh
and they
yeah,
did it believably. They did
babyface.
it believably,
Yeah,
and they did it really well, so it didn't come across. Well, how's he beating both these guys?
yeah.
And you have Anderson, one of the greatest workers of all time. You have Pillman, one of the most underrated workers of all time, and Sting, also an underrated worker.
Oh yeah.
And they did well building that, but of course, eventually the numbers game takes over, and Arn and Pillman take over the match, and that's when Flair comes running down in his khaki pants and shirt and his lizard shoes, and he's dressed in street clothes, but now he's there to beat Sting's tag partner.
With the big old bandage over his head with what, the
Yes,
12 stitches.
or either a really big bump.
Bobby Heenan and Tony Schiavone's work there, guys. Bobby
Yep.
Heenan with either a really big bump.
Yep.
So finally they do the build up, and Sting gets the tag to Flair, and Flair gets in there, does his little strut in the ring, and Sting's sitting there staggering around, and he fakes towards Anderson. All of a sudden you look, and he sucker punches Sting right in the face. Place goes nuts because everybody knows this is the return of the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, but what I noticed earlier in the match was the
Yeah.
precursor. When he comes in to save Sting, he barely touches Arn with the kick, which it makes perfect sense. Some people would say, "Well, he telegraphed it," but no, it made perfect sense. If he just kicked the shit out of Arn and then is teaming with him minutes later, it wouldn't make a lot of sense. So looking back at it, I love the logic there.
Well, see, that's just like, and I know with the whole Barry Windham turning on Luger thing when they were fighting Arn and Tully, I was like, so you're beating the crap out of these guys like 2 minutes before that, and all of a sudden you're walking off with them. I mean, I understand the logic there because he's finally fed up with Luger, and he's just saying, I'm going with these guys. Can't beat them, join them. I guess that's what that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that sets up the Flair with the Four Horsemen. They go on to pick up Chris Benoit as a fourth member, and a short-lived version of the Horsemen because Pillman wasn't around too long with the Horsemen. But yeah, that sets up another Flair and Sting feud, which World War III pay-per-view that year, Sting told him he was going to leave him for dead, and he ends up putting him in the Scorpion, wins the match, but won't release the Scorpion on him. And
that's always a pet peeve of Cornette is babyfaces or heels saying they're going to kill somebody because they can't do it. And a babyface should never make a promise he can't deliver on. And so him saying, I'm going to leave you for dead, shouldn't have, probably should have never been said. But back to the match told a great story. My one complaint from the match, it was too much of an angle. It reminded me more of a TV match versus a pay-per-view match. But it was well done. It was a very well done match. It was entertaining, and it kept my attention the whole time. It's one of them things. I saw it in '95. I didn't remember much of it, but I like the match. I would probably give the match 3 out of 5 stars. Liked it a lot, and thought it told a really good story. Maybe even pushing 4 out of 5 stars. But
go on, Go on, Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, we're gonna give it 4 3/4 stars, which is as good as 5 stars. But no, it was good. It was good, entertaining. Like I say, the only thing I would say about it, maybe a little too much of a something you'd see on Nitro instead of what you would see at a pay-per-view. But I enjoyed it. Thought it told a good story, and I thought most importantly to that match was the psychology, and they made Sting in the beginning versus Arn and Pillman believable that Sting could fend them both off. They did it very believably.
Yeah. All right. What was the match you were talking about that was the best, one of the best in Halloween Havoc history on that same card?
The sumo truck, monster trucks at the top of
truck.
sumo truck. I think that's what they called them.
I
Sumo
thought they
monster
called a
truck.
monster truck.
No, they called them sumo. Go watch it. It was a monster truck sumo match.
Oh yeah, because they were joined together. Yeah.
Yes. So at the top of Joe Louis Arena, that was the what a stupid ass idea.
When the giant falls off the top of the arena.
Yeah, and then he's fine. He's just fine. I mean, that's so stupid.
One of the
Why did anybody think that was a good idea?
I don't know.
And how did they explain how he survived the fall?
Well, how did they explain they had a freaking Yeti come
The
out?
Yeti!
We got a freaking Yeti. That's
He's
I was
humping him!
waiting-
He's
I was waiting for the-
humping him!
I was waiting for the gobbledygooker to come out there and save the day.
And then it literally looks like the Yeti is dry humping the dude just from behind. Go on.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. Sorry for any of
Yeah.
the children watching.
Yeah. So, moving on from that match. Go to number 4 from 1990. U.S. Tag Team Championship match. The Steiner Brothers versus the Nasty Boys.
Boy, let me tell you something. If you only saw the Nasty Sensation in the late 90s, the Nasty Boys 89, 90, 91 versus Nasty Boys late night. It's like you talk about two guys that really just went downhill fast, but early Nasty Boys, they were physical and their matches were good.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Now, look, this match right here, because I believe if I heard right, they didn't have a contract with WCW at the time, and this match led to them getting a contract with WWF at the time, and look, the next WrestleMania after this match, they were tag champions. So
why was WCW did a lot of dumb stuff around 1990?
Another dumb thing. Yeah.
Why were they putting the Nasty Boys against the Steiner Brothers on pay-per-view without a contract?
Don't know. And the way, I guess they were hoping they could get a deal with them because, right after that match, the Steiners are getting interviewed. Because, of course, the Steiners win the match. This match was just like bombs dropping everywhere.
Yeah, it was hard hitting high spots. Yeah.
They were doing high spots in the first 3 minutes. It looked like the Steiners might win in a squash at first, and but the Nasty Boys come out of it and start taking over. Which one was it? Sags that got busted open? One of the things that one of the most iconic memories of that match, he gets busted open, but he's got Scott in the Boston Crab, and you can see his face just covered with blood, and he's hollering in there. And I was like, God, these guys this match is freaking awesome.
The Top Rope Bulldog, that was one of the first times the Steiners did that I can remember. Yeah.
And then Rick did a double Steiner line off the top rope. I was waiting for this. There's a move, and while we're talking about the Steiners, there's a move that Scott did that he didn't do enough. The screwdriver, you remember that? Where he put him up for a suplex and then brought him inside like this and did it's almost like an inverted DDT.
Where he would twirl him around and like in midair, like he would pick him up. Huh?
That's a tilt-a-whirl.
Okay. Then what are you talking about?
He had him up for a suplex, but he had him like it ended up being like a.
So you bring him inside and then DDT him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I can picture it in my head, and I've seen other people do it too. There's a name for that move.
I can't remember that. They called it the Steiner screwdriver.
Yeah, and it may have just been called a screwdriver. But I've seen other people do that too.
But he didn't do it a lot. But look,
it's a dangerous move.
Very dangerous.
Yes, that's why I do it a lot. Because a lot of people said I ain't taking that.
Let me tell you guys this, and people are probably going to disagree with me because he was in more of the limelight as Big Papa Pump.
He's got
And
your hookup. Holler if you hear him.
huh?
I said he's got your hookup. Holler if you
Oh
hear him.
yeah.
Oh.
I liked Scott in WCW better than I did Big Papa Pump. When he was more agile, he could do these crazy moves. I liked him better as regular Scott Steiner. I don't know
I
about
think
you.
I agree 100%. I think Scott Steiner, as a Steiner brother and as a single early, like I remember his match at Clash of the Champions with Flair.
Flair, yeah.
I thought Scott Steiner, when he was big, he was a big muscular guy, but when he could still have some jump and some athleticism, I definitely prefer that version of Scott Steiner over Big Papa Pump. Big Papa Pump got over, and I think it was the right gimmick at the right time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely prefer the Steiner brothers version of Scott Steiner, if you will, to the Big Papa Pump version. And that match at Havoc with the Nasty Boys, I remember that feud well at in WCW and how competitive it was. And then all of a sudden, you just see the Steiner start squashing the Nasty Boys, and you figure out why soon thereafter is because the Nasty Boys are leaving for WWF.
Well, the next pay-per-view they were gone. Starcade was the
No,
next
they were there longer. Weren't they there longer than that?
No, they were gone.
Okay. All right.
So
Well, the last match between the Steiners and the Nasties, whether that was at Clash of Champions or what, I remember the Steiners squashed them.
I can't remember where that was at, but
Do you remember the match?
not off the top of my head. No.
Yeah, I do. They squashed them. And
see, the Starcade was when they did that Pat O'Connor Memorial Tournament with the Steiners. Yeah. With the tag teams from, like, I forgot where they were from. Muda and Saito.
We're from Japan.
Yeah, I mean, but there was some more. I know where they're from, duh. But the other ones, I can't remember where the other ones were from. That
Mexico.
There was some more though. There was 4 or 5. Well, there had to be at least 6.
Were they all from different countries?
Yeah, it was like the Pat O'Connor. Hold on, I'll find out for you.
Oh Jesus! 1990 WCW is an abomination.
Yeah,
as good as 89 was, 90 was horrible.
Collision Course, Starcade 1990 Collision Course. At least it wasn't the Iron Man tournament. Pat O'Connor Memorial International Tournament. Oh gosh, they had the royal family there from New Zealand. Okay, this is what you had there. Sergeant Kruger and Colonel de Klerk from South Africa.
Oh Jesus.
Norman Smiley and Chris Adams from the United Kingdom.
Hey, Norman Smiley would return again many years later and become
Freeman
a star
Norman.
by dancing.
Yeah. Rey Mysterio and Conan. That's not Rey Mysterio Jr. That's
Rey Mysterio Sr.
Yeah.
God, that was a young Conan.
Yeah, the royal family from New Zealand. Saito and the Great Muta from Japan. Then, there's more. Jeez. Troy Montour and
who the hell booked this? Tony Khan?
Don't get me lying.
It's what it sounds like. It sounds like some
Troy
Tony Khan
Montour and Danny Johnson from Canada.
Does this not sound like something they did? Yes, exactly.
Yes, versus Victor Zandiev and Salman Hashmakov from Soviet Union.
Why would they think anybody would want to watch this?
I don't know. I don't know. But that was most of the. How many matches were on this? I mean, none of these matches went long except the last one. I mean, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes.
So, what was the finish for Nasty Steiners at Halloween Havoc? I watched it earlier.
Scott was outside the ring.
Steiner Frankensteiner. Steiner line, Frankensteiner. Rick hits the Steiner line. Scott hits Frankensteiner.
Scott comes in the ring and does the Frankensteiner. Yeah.
Yes. 1, 2, 3. Yep.
Yep. And then after that match, when the Steiners are getting interviewed, they get waylaid by a guy selling popcorn, and it turns out to be one of the Nasty Boys, and they jumped in. But then that's it. I mean, after that, you saw that one match, and that was it. They're gone. And was that not the coolest looking ring for Halloween Havoc that year, though? With
I don't
the
like the red mat. I do not. I don't. I'm
oh,
very, very particular with mats. I either want them white, gray, or light blue. That's it.
the
White,
red
gray,
mat, but the ropes that were black,
black and
had
orange were
tape.
sick. Yes.
Yeah.
Did not like the red mat at all. I get it, blood, Halloween, but I don't like red mats. I don't like the way they look.
Okay. So let's move on to the next match. Where did I leave? Okay, I'll put this one in there.
They should have put they should have made they should have the red, excuse me, the orange and black rope's great. They should have made the mat white with a big jack-o'-lantern in the middle of it. I'm serious. It would have looked awesome.
All right, so next match from 1989, from the first version of Halloween Havoc for the United States Championship. The total package: Lex Luger versus Flying Brian Pillman.
This is actually my favorite match that I watched, and maybe it was because I watched it first tonight. I remember watching it. I watched the '89 VHS several times, so I remember this match.
Oh
When I
yeah,
went back and watched it, it's just a very competitive match. You had two young guys there. And I go back and I watched it, and I made the statement to you: Pillman was never as small as he made. He didn't look that much smaller
no.
than Luger, and it was a good athletic match. It was a fun match, and my favorite thing about the whole match was the ending. Seemed so. It was not. There was no like. You expect Luger's going to get Pillman in the torture rack. That's how you expect it's going to end.
Yep.
Or you expect if Pillman wins, it's going to be something like a roll up. And the ending it comes out of nowhere, but not in a bad way. It seems
Yeah.
very realistic. And I
Hot
even
shot.
wondered, was it planned? Was it caught on the fly? No pun intended. Because Pillman barely misses that flying drop kick. And then they go into the hot shot right after that,
Yeah.
and it looks good. And I'm thinking that should be the finish. But he'll probably kick out, and he don't. And it seemed I liked how realistic it seemed. I want to know if that was the original planned finish or if it just kind of happened. But I really like that match, and I really like the finish of that match because, again, it seemed like something that would happen in a natural course of a match if it was actually real.
Well, Luger had a short program with Tommy Rich when he came in WCW.
I was about fired up.
I knew it was coming. And one of the matches he had with Rich, which they were really good matches too, ended really similar. Luger was on the outside of the ring on the apron, and Tommy Rich had him in the sleeper. And Luger just dropped down, and Tommy Rich's, his head did kind of like a hot shot.
Yeah.
And Luger went in the ring and rolled him up and pinned him that way. So I don't know. That may have been. I hadn't really thought about that. That could have been something that got caught on the fly, but I think that might have been a planned finish like that though. Just because I had seen that Tommy Rich match end like that too, and Luger, it's like Luger coming up with another win out of
out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. But yeah, I'm like you. Pillman was never as small as they made him out.
Hey, I'm gonna talk like Tommy Rich the rest of the show.
That Jerry Lawler, I didn't really like him.
I didn't like Jerry Lawler.
You talking about the Queen? You talking about the Queen? I mean the King.
The Queen of Memphis, Jerry Lawler. I'm gonna sit under the ring all day here in Memphis with a 12-pack of Budweiser and a. You ever heard that story?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he sits under the ring in Memphis for the whole damn event, so he can come in and attack Lawler. And they ask him what he needs from there. Give me something to pee in, a 12-pack of beer, and a bucket of chicken.
Can you imagine what he was like when he come out of there?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to go now? Y'all want me to go now? Where do I go?
Did somebody say something about a 12-piece?
Give me a drumstick before I go. Let me get one more bite of my drumstick.
Imagine how under the ring smelled.
Oh gosh, with pea and chicken, chicken, and beer.
Beer, exactly. What if he had to shit?
Oh gosh.
Somebody say
I
something
don't know
about
what y'all got to
diarrhea.
do, but I got to take a dump. You won't have to use that bucket here too.
Man, Tommy Rich. Somebody say something about diarrhea.
Woo. But yeah, I mean, and Pillman, that's another thing too. We talked about Scott Steiner being that our favorite version of Scott Steiner.
What was that, Steve?
Our favorite version of Scott Steiner was when he was more agile. And Pillman before, mine too with Pillman before all the wrecks, when he had that car wreck.
Yeah, although he was still good after that. I like Lunatic Pillman.
Well, I just like this version. I mean, even the Hollywood Blonde Pillman version, I liked him.
Just think if you had Lunatic Pillman, but he had never gotten the wreck. If he'd have did that gimmick with still that athletic ability, he could have been the big. He could have been. We never got to see this to my knowledge, but if you'd have had Pillman at his absolute peak and him go in with the Lunatic gimmick, a Pillman in his prime, like if he'd have never got hurt doing that gimmick, versus Shawn Michaels match would have been epic.
God. Good Lord.
It would have been epic.
Yes. But we'll never know. But that's
nice. Well, AI.
Well, we can do that. Yeah.
I got an interesting question for you, but we're gonna get through this first. So, any other comments on Pillman versus
just that Bob Caudle was a big Brian Pillman fan.
Yeah, go back and watch that match, guys. And so JR says, and there's the Pillman cheerleaders again, Bob. And Bob goes, hey, he's got a lot of cheerleaders all throughout the arenas. And about 95% of them are female, Bob. I can't say I blame them.
Good old Bob Caudle.
Apparently, Bob Caudle was secretly in love with Brian Pillman.
Evidently. We'll have to ask him.
Did he die recently? Is he still
around? No, he's still around.
God almighty. How's Bob now?
God, it ain't no telling how old Bob is.
Was he live in Greensboro area?
I think so. He's 100% right, wherever he's at. Because that was his catchphrase. Every show, he had to be, somebody was 100% right.
He's 100%. He said something else during that match that I was like, man, if I was a wrestling booker back in the day and my announcer said that, I would have been in his ear. He said, it's unreal, JR.
Jim
Ross. He didn't call him JR. It's unreal. Yeah. Those words should never come out of an announcer's match. Announcer's mouth. It's unreal on pro wrestling in the 80s. No. Shouldn't say that.
Bob Caudle doesn't. I'm not seeing his age up here, but
120.
His wife just passed away, and they were married for 76 years.
Good God.
He was born in he's born in. So he's 90. He's just turned 95.
Good for him. Wow.
So, good old Bob Caudle.
Remember Bob Caudle, even though looking back, he wasn't the best.
Bob Caudle and Johnny Weaver.
Loved his voice. And just you hear Bob Caudle's voice, you can't help but feel like a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it takes you back, dude, whenever you hear it. So let's go on to number two. 1989 match also. This was the highlight of supposed to be the highlight event of the first Halloween Havoc in the Thunderdome.
Freebirds versus the Dudes?
No, actually, Tommy Rich versus the Cuban Assassin.
Was it Freebirds versus the Dudes? Who held the Freebirds?
Yeah, that was when one of the dudes gets DDT'd and the place erupts. It's like
it had to be Johnny Ace.
Well, of course. Sting teaming up with Ric Flair again. This time it didn't end as bad for Sting versus Terry Funk and the Great Muta in the Thunderdome match. And
Yeah, great idea. Poor execution on the Thunderdome.
what are you talking about when the Thunderdome caught on fire at the time?
Yeah, Muta puts it out. Total
I got my
babyface move.
own.
He's
What
got his
about-
own fire extinguisher. Yeah.
That was another great line from Bob.
Yeah.
Muta said, I got my own. We need a fire ticket. Muta said, I got my own.
But I'm glad he sprayed that on the fire, Bob, versus in somebody's eyes, because we got to remind him he's a heel.
So, yeah, this is just a beatdown match with, this epic feud from 1989 with Terry Funk and Ric Flair. And Muta, how cool was Muta, though? I've said it time and time again. When the Horsemen turned on Sting, they should have turned Muta babyface because
Gary Hart talked him out of it.
Gary Hart. The Sting. I got to say, I don't never say Sting. We're going to fight the Sting tonight. I was like, do you not know his name is just Sting?
That was a huge mistake by Gary Hart talking Muta out of it. Muta would have been. I was scared of Muta as a kid. I was a little kid.
Too.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have been in '89. You were like 18.
I didn't want him to spray me with that.
How old were you in '89?
16. No, I was
really scared. You scared? Yeah, you were. Now you're thinking about what you said.
No, but
I was, 89 in October of '89. I was getting ready to turn 9. Well, it depends on what the date was of Halloween Havoc. Had just turned 9 probably, but I was scared of Muta back then, and so him turning babyface, yeah, I would have popped big for that, like him and Sting together.
Do you remember, when they would talk about the different colors of the mist? Oh, the red! He just sprayed her with the red. That's the worst one. But then the next
green
time,
is bad, but red,
oh my God,
is
green.
Red is very, very bad.
But
yeah, so
I remember he sprayed Missy Hyatt with the green one time. But
Missy Hyatt's been sprayed many, many, many times.
It's probably been more colors of green too.
Yeah.
Anyway, this match, the
green is very, very bad.
Yeah, that would be very bad. The Thunderdome is just decorated with all this Halloweeny stuff. You got
oddly enough, how they refer to Missy Hyatt.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, they got ropes. They got all sorts of crap all over the ring. And this goes back to this looks more like a WWE ring. Remember that, Kyle?
Yeah. What are you referring to by that?
Don't you remember this ring? The cage. The cage.
Oh, you mean the big square, like the blue metal iron horrible. Yeah, it does, and it was the predecessor to Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
The size of the ring, but yeah. So and I remember at one point in the match, Sting tries to stick Muta's head through one of the big cage openings. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something. No, that wasn't this match. I'm sorry, but I got to go back. We'll just okay. So I noticed something I meant to mention this during the Sting, Arn Anderson, Pillman Flair tag match. So there's a point where in that match where Sting has Arn in a move, and Arn's trying to break it by like leveraging on the ropes, and I don't know what he was going to do because Arn was never very like flippy.
Right.
And but now looking and wrestling logically, I don't know why everybody just doesn't do this. So Arn starts to like climb the ropes while Sting has a hold of him to like he's gonna try to flip out of the move. And Sting just lets go of the move or lets go of him and drops him flat on his face. So now for every time I see a guy trying to climb the ropes to like flip out of a move, I'm like, why don't the dude just let go of it and drop him on his face? Yeah. I don't know if you remember that from that match, but I just remember
go back and look that.
That is so like they probably actually didn't know how to get up because I don't remember ever seeing Arn do a flip. So they probably was like Arn was like, "Hey, I'm gonna act like," and then just drop. But that's like the most logical thing to do in that situation. Anyway, back to this match.
So this match, the ending I thought they pulled it off really well because it
You
goes
know,
back.
I mean, I remember briefly seeing this as a kid and thinking, "Oh my god," because you see, Flair has Muda in the figure four,
Yeah.
and I remember briefly thinking, "Oh my god, Sting's gonna turn on Flair. He's gonna splash Flair because the angle looks like that's where he's gonna land when he first climbs up there, and then he
Well,
has to kind of aim at Muda."
now he had Muda earlier in the figure four but what was going on up there at the top of the cage, Funk ends up tying Sting up there to the top of the cage. Remember that?
Yeah, but well, I guess that wasn't the end. No, wasn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the ending.
Funk
That was
was the
the
one that was in the figure four that Sting kept
Sting was
splashing
okay. Yeah, the Sting was splashing. Okay, yeah.
because Ole ends up untying Sting where Funk has tied him up, and Sting gets the rope and swings over to the and I think he knocks Muda out of the ring first, and then he goes on splashing. I don't know how many times he did it while Flair had him in the
I
figure four.
think 3.
I did notice after the first splash, I don't know if Sting said something to Flair or not, but Flair moves his leg where
Yeah.
he moves his leg up because Sting may have hit that leg when he came out the first time. The next 2 times, Flair moves his leg. And then you see Gary Hart outside the ring saying, "I'm not going to throw," which he said in an earlier interview that he didn't care if Terry Funk's leg was breaking. He was not going to give up. He's not throwing the towel in. And that leads to Muda coming in the ring, and he gets into it with Bruno Sammartino, who is the guest referee.
Which makes no freaking sense other than
That
he was
was
on the
just
outs with WWF at the
well,
time.
they were in what, Philadelphia.
No, were they? I thought they were in
think
Chicago
so.
for some. Well, that would make
No.
sense. He's from Pennsylvania, so Pittsburgh is his hometown. And then he was the king of New York, but
Philadelphia Civic Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
okay, that makes some sense because it's a Northeast guy.
Well, they did it for that, and they did it to throw shade at WWF too.
Yeah, they also throw shade at WWF in another time during that match where they mentioned Sting starting off his career as part of a tag team called the Blade Runners, and his partner hasn't developed nearly as well.
Good old
But,
Blade Runners.
yeah.
But yeah, so Bruno takes out.
By the way, for anybody watching this that doesn't know, that was the Ultimate Warrior who was his partner.
Yeah, exactly. Bruno takes out Muda while he's turning around. Gary Hart and Ole get in the ring, and Ole pops Gary Hart, and his towel goes flying in the air. Bruno turns around, sees Gary Hart don't have his towel anymore, and it's sitting on there, and so he calls the match, and that's it. But it was a good match, and I mean that feud, that was the 1989 feud of the year, and I know that for a fact.
Yeah, it barely beat out Chris Adams and Steve Austin.
Yeah, at 4th, but that was the feud of the year with Terry Funk.
I think there was 2 great feuds that year for Flair, and one led into the other. Steamboat Flair, and I don't know where that finished in the feud of the year ranking, but Steamboat Flair, which led into Funk Flair, and I enjoyed both feuds.
I don't think Steamboat Flair finished in the top.
It should have. I mean, I love that build. Eddie Gilbert, actually, and so many people came and gone in WCW during that time, but that feud between Steamboat and Flair all started with Eddie Gilbert.
Yep. Nope, it didn't even finish in the top 4.
That's ridiculous.
And yeah, because that was only in '89, because Chi-Town Rumble was in 1989.
Yeah.
Listen to the ones that finished in '89. The feuds of the year voted by Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Okay, Flair and Funk win.
Which, by the way, was voted by nobody. That was PWI was always bullshit.
Flair and Funk, they win the feud of the year. Runner up is Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage.
Okay.
Excuse me. Number 3, Skandar Akbar's Devastation Inc. versus the Eric Embry. And then coming in at 4th, Roddy Piper versus Ravishing Rick Rude.
So it's the following year, 90, where Chris Adams and
Chris
Austin are
Adams,
the top
Steve
four. Yeah.
Austin. Yeah.
So all right. So what they were doing was trying to spread the wealth a little bit. So they gave it was NWA or WCW, then WWF, and then they threw a bone to Dallas, and
Yeah.
then they went back to WWF for 4. They just didn't want. I guess they didn't want all the top 4 to be WWF and NWA WCW. So they threw Dallas and then Memphis, whatever, a bone here and there.
Yeah.
But so Skander Akbar versus who?
Eric Embry.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so that was the dying days of world class
Yeah.
before Jarrett took it over in USWA. I mean, Skander Akbar and Eric Embry. I mean, good Lord.
That's what I said. Yep. It's
Skander was a manager, so it would have been his
it was
army.
Devastation Inc.
Okay, so yeah, I guess
Because Eric Embry was fighting for the company. You remember that?
no.
Yeah. It was,
That's bad when when all the Von Erichs are pretty much done, or dead,
gone.
or Kerry is, I guess, was on his way to WWF at that time. Oh no, he was still there.
Well,
He was still there in '89, and so was Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin was just probably doped up the whole time.
What?
Hey, would you like to go to Pizza Inn?
We got a good deal. We can get good deals at Pizza Inn.
We can get pizza and muffins. So when the hell did Pizza Inn have muffins?
I vaguely remember that.
Have you ever seen that commercial?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Yeah, I was like, what are you, muffins?
Cringy.
Yeah, oh, terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, cringy. But all right. So let's get on to the next match, the last one, number 1. And I don't think I forgot to tell Kyle about this one. I was to take up for me last night, guys. I was like,
is
really,
it Sid and Sting?
no.
Okay.
1997, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero.
Okay. Well, I can't comment on this at all because
Not just a great Halloween Havoc match, but a great one of the best cruiserweight matches of all
and it would have
time.
been one of the first times in '97 you weren't an ECW guy, so it would have been one of the first times you really saw that kind of match featured with the cruiserweights or the lucha. Although Eddie and Ray were smart enough not to work lucha style, they would incorporate some lucha. Eddie and Ray wrestled 150 million times, and I may have watched that. I'm sure I did watch that match in '96. What was that, Warrior Hogan?
No, was it?
I think it was.
I thought. Well, let's see. Well, this match, I can guarantee you this.
Yeah.
This match killed Warrior Hogan.
Sure, but what was on top?
Hold on, I'm looking.
I think it was Warrior Hogan. It would have either been. Well, we'll find out here in a second.
I think Warrior Hogan was 98.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Well, I disagree with you. You want to bet on it?
No, I'm not that confident about it.
Okay. Nope. You shouldn't have bet.
I didn't.
Hogan versus Piper was the
and I was guaranteed to say it was a Hogan Piper. Yeah, okay. So that was on top, and so yeah. So go ahead, comment on this match because I didn't see it.
This was
or
title.
let me rephrase that. I probably saw it in '97.
Yeah, you did. You saw it. I mean, this was title versus mask. Guerrero's got the cruiserweight title.
And that already makes it sound familiar.
Mysterio comes out there dressed up like the Phantom.
Does he wear 2 masks in this match?
No, because Mysterio actually almost rips his mask off.
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't really have a mask on it. The mask is built into his whole outfit. If you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
And Mysterio, Eddie gets him down one time and he's tearing right around the eye where you can just see a little bit of Mysterio's eye. And yeah, this match was just action packed back and forth. And Mysterio gets the win and wins the cruiserweight title from Eddie. But I mean, this match, everybody talks about the match in WWE when they had the whole Dominic custody thing, and they have great matches in. This match puts all of them to shame. I mean, this Mysterio came out when he got there, was doing things nobody had seen before. And then you add Guerrero in with him. Man, this match.
Nobody who had watched ECW.
This match stole the show from because I mean, Hogan Piper, that was you wanted to see it, but the stupid part of the Hogan Piper deal was
I didn't want to see it because I'd seen it 10 years ago.
Huh?
I didn't want to see it because I'd seen it 10 years ago.
Well, the thing is, it was a non-title match on a pay-per-view in a cage, non-title match.
Well, which signified, and I don't even remember what happened, but I'm going to guess Piper went over.
Piper won with the sleeper.
Yeah, see, that's idiotic. That gives away the Piper's going to win the match. How about this? If you can't put Piper on, put the friggin' title on Piper. Just have him lose it back the next night at like
they did with Luger. You remember when Luger beat Hogan the next week? He lost it at the pay-per-view at Hog Wild.
Yeah, or you could literally have him lose it the next night on Nitro. He comes in and Hogan suckers him into it by challenging his manhood, and then the NWO screw him and they take the title back.
Yeah, I mean this match stole the show, no doubt about it. I mean, if you guys want to see one of the best matches of all time, go 1997, and watch Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero.
Halloween Havoc 97.
So, some of the ones I left out here that could have been on here. Malenko versus Mysterio, 1996. That there were so many great Dean Malenko Rey Mysterio matches that year, because that's who Rey, his original feud when he got to WCW, was with. I mean, they were trading the cruiserweight title back and forth. 1997, Randy Savage versus DDP.
Yeah, I remember that match. Everybody loved that match when it happened.
Here's one you probably don't remember. From 92. Not much to talk about with that 92 pay-per-view. Except for the botched Cobra biting Jake the Snake.
Oh, they tried to do that again?
Do you remember
No.
No. They did the spin the wheel, make the deal match, and it ended up being a coal miner's glove match, but at the end of it, Cactus Jack comes down to the ring and gives Jake his the bag with the Cobra in it. And he's over in the corner getting the Cobra out, and Sting hits him, and about the time he gets it out and moves his hand up to his cheek, and the Cobra didn't latch on, and Jake's up there going like, dude, just fiddling with it, like trying to make it good.
You can't make a Cobra work. It's a Cobra.
The Cobra wouldn't work that night. He was,
yeah.
But yeah. But this one was a tag team that I would love to see stay together for a lot longer than they did. Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham, they're defending their belts against Dr. Death, Steve Williams,
Good old Steve Wilson,
and Steve Austin.
So you had Steve Williams and Steve Williams tagging up?
Yeah. Steve Austin's real name is Steve Williams. So.
That's right.
No,
I do not. I don't think I've ever seen Halloween Havoc 1992.
There was some matches on there that were okay. I mean, you had a recently turned heel Brian Pillman against Ricky Steamboat.
Did Pillman turn heel that early? 92?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think I had any.
Yep.
I
'Cause
don't
that
think I
was
had any access in '92 to WCW. Was the problem? I didn't. It was before I had cable or satellite, and it was after it was syndicated anywhere in my area. Um, so I didn't have any access in '92.
yeah. So this is a card. Get ready to throw up. So the dark match that night was Eric Watts and Van Hammer teaming up to fight the Vegas Connection,
I never thought Eric Watts was as bad as people make him out to be.
Diamond Dallas Page and Vinny Vegas, who is Kevin Nash.
Okay,
Yeah, but Van Hammer was god awful.
he was going to save wrestling.
Yeah. And the opening match of the pay per view was a 6-man match. Johnny Gunn.
Who in the hell is Johnny Gunn?
You remember Tom Brandy? You ever heard
Of
that name?
course, yeah.
Yeah, that's Johnny Gunn.
Okay.
Shane Douglas and Tom Zink over
You got one guy in there that's actually talented.
over Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton, and Michael Hayes.
Oh my God! They put those three idiots over Bobby Eaton, Michael Hayes, and who else did you say?
Arn Anderson.
Oh my God!
And the crowd booed the baby
As they should.
So Pillman versus Steamboat.
All right, that's a good one. How was that match? That had to be good.
That was a good match, yeah. Then you had a no disqualification match. This was WCW at the time now. United States Heavyweight Championship. Vader defending on behalf of Ravishing Rick Rude the belt against Nikita Koloff. Because
he was the interim champion.
No, Rude was wrestling that night. He had another match that night against Masaru Chono.
That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense.
Why would you do that?
You shouldn't.
So this match actually ended up ending Nikita's career. He had a herniated disc in his neck from a stiff clothesline from Vader, and he had to retire after that. So then you had Barry Windham and Dustin against Austin and Williams. Gordy didn't show because he was mad about his pay or something like that. It actually was going to be Gordy and Williams against the Steiner brothers, but Scott hurt. He had that, or Rick suffered a torn chest muscle. So time limit draw after 30 minutes. Then Chono against Rude. Ron Simmons.
Card is all over the place.
Yeah. Get this. Ron Simmons defends his WCW championship against the Barbarian.
What in the world? Against Barbarian?
With Cactus Jack as Barbarian's manager. And the main event was
who was booking at this point? Was this Bill Watts?
Dusty was there, wasn't he? I think Bill Watts was there because Eric was there. I mean, that's the only reason Eric was there.
I think Watts is booking this.
Yeah. It's awful. It's god awful.
I don't know that it's awful. It's just all over the place.
Oh, believe me, the matches were awful.
Okay.
Except for the ones the Wyndham and
You got plenty of talent. You just need to rebook the card.
Yeah. But that was just WCW at the time. Who else? But who would you put in there?
What was the main event?
Sting and Jake the Snake, the spin the wheel, make
the coal miner's glove match. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
But anyway, so that's my top 5 and or top 6. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, and I don't have one. I just analyzed Stevie's and watched 4 of the 6 matches. And I enjoyed all 4. I think I enjoyed the 2 I enjoyed the most were probably Luger and Pillman, and then actually the the '97 match, or not? Yeah, '90. No, '95.
No, the one with Flair and Sting against
Yeah,
Arn and
yeah, from '95 and Flair. So those would be the two matches I enjoyed the most. The Thunderdome match is one, of course, everybody remembers. You kind of have a special place in your heart for that one. And then the Nasties and the Steiners was a hard hitting physical match that that I remember loving at the time as a kid.
I want to say, and I may be wrong, but I want to say Luger and Pillman had a match at a Clash too.
I probably
That was,
did.
that was really good. Hold on here. Well, maybe I'm wrong. That's 1988. Let's see, 89.
Yeah, it's hard to say. There were so many Clash of Champions. It's hard to remember specifically,
Okay, this
what
is
from what.
okay. Tommy Rich and Lex Luger. That was one of the clashes.
Somebody said something about a Clash.
Yep. The New York Knockout. That was Pillman and Luger.
Was that from Troy? Where was that? Was that the one from Troy, New York?
Yep, exactly. At the RPI Fieldhouse.
Oh,
That was the one the I Quit match with Funk and Flair.
okay.
The clashes was so good back then too. I mean,
Yeah,
they
there
were
was some good
so
Clash
good.
of Champions. There really were. They were free. I remember I didn't have cable at the time, and a couple different people would record them for me, and I
Yep, that's
remember
how I did it too.
I would wait to get the VHSs, and so it was
I mean, you listen to this card. This is one in the New York Knockout. Dr. Death versus the Super Destroyer. Doom with the mask on versus Eddie Gilbert and Tommy Rich.
there you go.
Dynamic Dudes versus Midnight Express, which that was the one Cornette and the Midnight Express turned heel again. Freebirds versus the Road Warriors. Pillman versus Luger. Skyscrapers versus the Steiners. And then Funk versus Flair.
Yeah, that's a pay per view.
Exactly.
That's a pay per view. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, guys, you want to go back and check out some of these clashes because
Yes, Ric Flair, I quit.
I'm going to shake your hand. The one in Fort Bragg, you remember that one too, right?
I remember hearing about it. I remember how hot people told me how hot it was in that building that night.
That was a monumental night because it saw the debut of the epic tag team, the Ding Dongs.
Jesus Christ.
From Belleville, USA.
From Belleville, USA.
I saw
Look at my ding dongs.
on a earlier episode that in 1989 of WCW Saturday Night, the two guys that were the Ding Dongs, and they were actually a
You know what the ding dongs were referred to before they became the ding dongs?
What?
The penises.
Oh my god. They were actually called the Rock and
I was
Roll.
going to get it in. You told me not to say it before the show started. Made it all the way to the end, and I got it in.
What were those guys? That you know how
The Rock and Roll
everybody?
RPMs?
No, they were a rock and roll team, but every team back then had to be.
Who were they? Who were the two? Who were the ding dongs? Who were they?
Hold on, I'm looking up their names now. Rock and Roll Rebels.
But who were they?
Their names were Greg Evans and Richard Sartain.
I do not remember either one of these guys.
If you watch some of the earlier, like January to obviously to July of WCW Saturday Night, you'll see their enhancement talent. And because I remember seeing the guy and I was like seeing them tag up and they had matching stuff. And I was like, who are these guys? So I Googled them and I was like, oh, the Rock and Roll Rebels. So they couldn't be an Express. So they had to They couldn't be an RPM.
Who would want to be?
Yeah, exactly. They couldn't be the Southern Rockers.
Was there never a Southern? Who was the Southern Rockers?
The Southern Rockers were
I don't remember that
actually.
team.
You remember Well Done?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was them. Rex King and Steve Dahl.
I don't remember. Where was that gimmick done?
I think it was in Portland?
That seems like a dumb place to
Yep,
have the Southern
Pacific
Rockers.
Northwest Wrestling.
Okay, I
And
like
they
the
did
name. The
some
Southern
in the
Rockers.
USWA too.
Okay.
So anyway, that's gonna do it, guys, for tonight. We will be back, I'm sure, sometime soon. Maybe
So are we putting this? Are you putting this out tomorrow
I'm
on
gonna put it out
Halloween?
more. Yeah.
All right. So everybody, if you're trick or treating tonight,
Trick or treat.
it's be safe out there with your kids. If you're handing out candy, do not put any razor blades in the apples. Don't put any poison in the candy. If you're considering it, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not a good idea.
Don't lace it with cyanide either.
No, not lace it with cyanide. No, don't do it. And remember, parents, check all your children's candy when you get home. Go through all their candy. Because in the history of Halloween, there's been like 0 incidences where anybody's ever tried to do that. But you remember hearing the stories growing up. Steve, real quickly before we close out, I'm gonna do a Dave here. And and, uh, and so do you remember hearing the stories growing up? Like you'd be like, "Oh, did you hear? Over in Windsor, there was a kid that got an apple and there was a piece of glass in it and it cut his throat and he died."
Every year.
Yeah, every year. Every year. Did you hear?
And that was about the time you were in the middle of eating something. You were like,
I ain't gonna eat this. Yeah, or you
oh,
get paranoid, like you'd
yeah.
be like you get a half open Tootsie Pop, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't. That's okay.
Maybe there's a
The rest-
razor blade in the other half of this.
Yeah, so you'd like start eating. Oh, wait a minute, this thing was half open. You hear? Did you hear? There was a kid over in Little Washington who was eating a Jolly Rancher, and he bit into it, and the Jolly Rancher was actually made of glass, and it cut his entire tongue off.
I do remember every year it was a different story.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like somebody was like, "We don't want you to have your candy."
Exactly.
I'm like, dude, shut up.
Did you hear? There was this kid.
The popcorn balls are laced.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Favorite Halloween candy. Least favorite Halloween candy.
Least favorite candy corn.
Candy corn.
Either least favorite is either candy corn or them damn wax things that they had that looked like little bottles or like, you know what I'm talking about?
They had the liquid in them.
Yes.
They're okay.
Yeah, but you had like 2 seconds of taste, and then it was wax. You were chewing on wax.
I didn't. I just poured the juice out, and I used to like getting those when I was a kid and pretending like I was a mad scientist making making potions.
I can totally see that. Ooh, Dr. Barber.
Exactly. And did you ever get the pixie sticks and pretend like it was cocaine?
Yes.
yeah. We
Yes,
did the
we all did that. We all experimented back in the day.
Exactly, with our candy. So favorite Halloween candy?
Oh gosh. Ooh. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I liked all of it, but I didn't like them damn what were they called?
I think I'm gonna guess, and this is just a complete guess because I know people hate these and I like them. Mary Jane's, the little peanut butter candy wrap.
God, I hated them too. Yeah, if you put
I like
Mary
those. It's peanut butter taffy. I like those.
Yeah, I didn't like the Mary Janes either.
I like those.
There was one though that had kind of like a gritty taste to it.
You have to be more specific. What kind of candy was it?
It was kind of like the Mary Janes, but it was like a gritty. It had like a gritty taste to it, and I was like, and when I hit the point, I hated
what did the
mounds.
wrapper look like?
I can't remember.
Bit o' honey.
No, it won't bit of honey. They weren't bad. Hated mounds.
Yeah, you don't really like mounds or almond joy until you're older. You know what I used to do with almond joys when I get them? I would eat the almond and the chocolate and then throw the rest of it away. Now
What
I love
happened
them.
left?
Coconut.
Oh,
The almond was just on top. I like almond joys now. I like Bounds
somebody.
too.
I'll tell you one thing I didn't like. I still don't like is the Hershey bar with almonds.
Oh, I love those. You're not an almond fan.
No, I'm not an almond fan.
I love almonds and
Almond
the Almond
Brothers.
Brothers.
Almond Brothers.
I do like the Hershey's with almonds. So we definitely differ on that.
They
Probably
ain't gonna let them catch me. Midnight Rider.
Rider. There you go. Reese Cups would have been one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Sweet Tarts. Nerds, particularly the grape nerds, little box.
The little what were they called? Bottle caps.
Yeah, bottle caps.
I
Yeah.
love them.
Twix. No, I mean not Twix. Kit Kats. Kit Kats were always good at Halloween. Snickers. Any of the chocolate was good, except I was never, because it ain't really chocolate. Never a fan of the chocolate flavored Tootsie Rolls. I do like.
What about the blue ones?
Love the vanilla Tootsie Rolls. That's the blue you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I love all the fruit flavored Tootsie Rolls. They're great. Because it's taffy, and those are the flavors taffy should be.
Peanut butter.
Yeah, no, that works too. I actually like chocolate Tootsie Rolls probably better now than I ever have my whole life. At one point, I could not stand them. So
now that we talked about what we hope we don't get for Halloween tomorrow night, I'll tell you what, the price of the candy right now, you have to take out a loan to get some of this candy though. So you might not see many people handing out candy tomorrow night.
Yeah, I hope people hand out candy anyway, even with the prices being ridiculously high. And everybody has fun trick or treating. Everybody have fun in downtown Greenville tomorrow if you're in Eastern North Carolina.
Hope you get more than a rock.
Yeah, I want to go. I wouldn't mind, Stevie. Let's go downtown Greenville tomorrow night and just let's do it. Let's take our phones. Let's be live.
Relive the glory days.
No, let's just interview girls and talk about their Halloween costumes. We could make a whole segment of it.
Gone wild again.
I'm telling you, we could do it. Stevie Flythe,
that might have worked back in the day, but it wouldn't work anymore. But
we're not going to ask girls to show their boobs. We're just going to go interview them and talk about their Halloween. I'm telling you, great content. If you want to see Kyle and Stevie in Greenville on Halloween night, just comment below.
Yeah, we'll see it in time.
I'm telling you, the content we could come up with would be fantastic.
I'm sure it could be. I'm sure we get a lot of interesting answers.
Yeah, we would just tell everybody we're really not old dudes. This is our costumes.
Anyway, this is just us.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, you guys have a happy Halloween, and Kyle. Thanks for joining tonight. By the way, I didn't thank you already.
You're welcome. I mean, by the way, I'm Kyle from LaGrange. For those who don't know, if you haven't ever seen me on the show, and you can always check me out on the Sports Objective. Stevie joins us most of the time on the Sports Objective, and you can follow that on Facebook at the Sports Objective. Same on X, Sports Objective, YouTube, the Sports Objective. Just search it, and you can find our content. And that's the
key thing is look for the Sports Objective.
Yeah, I'm just promoting, and I might go independent after a while. It'll just be the Kyle from LaGrange show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm
Big
just saying.
bombshell drop tonight.
Wow, I've been considering it. Get rumors started.
Oh Lord, it'll be all over the place now. The text group will be going crazy tomorrow night once this comes out.
Yeah, oh yeah, it will be the talk of the podcast rumor mill.
Yep, we got to get something started.
All
right, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. You guys have a happy Halloween, and we'll see you next time on The Fly.
It's on the